Imagine waking up every night to whispers in the dark, to objects moving on their own, and an unseen force that follows you, attacks you, day after day. What if the spirit tormenting you wasn't just a ghost, but something far darker, more malevolent, and hell-bent on ruining your life? This is the true story of the Bell Witch, a terrifying haunting that tormented a family for years in the woods of Tennessee. A curse that would cost them their lives. Imagine waking up every night to whispers in the dark, to objects moving on their own, and an unseen force that follows you, attacks you, day after day. What if the spirit tormenting you wasn't just a ghost, but something far darker, more malevolent, and hell-bent on ruining your life? This is the true story of the Bell Witch, a terrifying haunting that tormented a family for years in the woods of Tennessee. A curse that would cost them their lives. It all started with strange, unexplainable sounds. At first, it was just faint knocking, like someone was at the door. But when John Bell would open it, there was no one there. The sounds grew louder, scratching, heavy footsteps, and even chains dragging on the floor. The family assumed it was some sort of prank, but the noises didn't stop. One night, Lucy Bell was lying in bed when she heard the unmistakable sound of scratching at the wall. But when she checked, nothing was there. The noises continued for weeks, and soon other strange things began happening. Furniture would move on its own, and sometimes they would hear the sound of someone breathing heavily in the room, yet there was no one there. But the haunting took a darker turn when their daughter, Betsy, began to experience strange phenomena. Her hair was tugged, invisible hands slapped her face, and sometimes she felt as if something was whispering in her ear. The family was terrified. This wasn't just a ghostly prank. It was something far worse. As the days went on, the activity became more violent and more personal. One night, as the family sat in the living room, they heard a voice, a raspy, harsh voice, coming from the walls. The voice identified itself as Kate, and soon it claimed to be a spirit who had been wronged by John Bell himself. It declared that it would haunt him and his family for the rest of their lives. At first, no one believed it, until Kate began to speak to them directly, answering their questions, mimicking voices of people they knew, and even swearing at them. It wasn't long before the spirit, now known as the Bell Witch, became more violent. Betsy Bell, the young girl who had already been tormented by unseen forces, was now physically attacked. She would be thrown across the room, slapped, and beaten by invisible hands. She couldn't escape. The Bell Witch's hold over her was unrelenting. John Bell sought help from doctors, ministers, and even local occult practitioners, but none could help. Some believed it was a demon. Others thought it was the ghost of a woman who had been wronged by John Bell many years ago. But the truth was far more terrifying. The Bell Witch wasn't just a spirit. It was a curse, a supernatural force determined to destroy the Bell family. In 1820, the family's suffering reached its peak. John Bell, once a strong and healthy man, began to deteriorate rapidly. He complained of intense pain in his mouth and throat, as if something was choking him. Soon, he could barely speak. On his deathbed, he blamed the Bell Witch for his condition, saying, "I am being poisoned by a spirit." His last words were a desperate plea for help. John Bell died in December 1820, and his death was believed to be caused by poison. However, no one ever found the source of the poison. Many believed it was the Bell Witch's doing. The spirit had done what it set out to do. It had claimed John Bell's life, and his family was left broken and devastated. The Bell witches' reign of terror didn't end with John Bell's death. The Bell family continued to experience hauntings for years. Betsy Bell, who had been the main target of the witches' attacks, eventually moved away, but the legacy of the Bell Witch lived on. The Bell Witch legend has been passed down for generations. Today, the site of the Bell family farm in Adams, Tennessee, is said to still be haunted. People claim to hear strange noises, see ghostly apparitions, and feel the oppressive presence of the Bell Witch. Some say the curse is still active, waiting for its next victim. The Bell Witch may have been defeated once, but her spirit remains trapped in the dark corners of history. Could the curse still haunt those who dare to visit? Will it claim new victims, just as it did the Bell family centuries ago? Some believe the Bell Witch is waiting for you,